My name's Dan Smith and I'm Secretary General of International Alert, which is a peace-building organisation based in London.
Now, on Syria, you recently wrote the blog post, "The pace quickens towards what?"
Yeah.
Arguing against a limited strike to deter chemical weapons use. A lot has happened since, but could you still sort of recap why you think a strike would be a really bad idea?
Well, I think first of all that even if you talk to sort of professional military people and so on, they're going to ask, what's the end state that you're aiming for? So I had a number of objections to the idea of a limited strike purely focused on deterring further use of chemical weapons. First of all, that chemical weapon attack on the 21st of August, according to the American intelligence, has killed about 1,400 people out of 100,000 people who have been killed during the course of the Syrian civil war so far. So to begin with, by focusing on chemical weapons, what message is being sent about the people who don't die from chemical warfare but die through other horrible means? The second thing is that the case for being able to target the effects so precisely has not been made. I mean, you cannot fire missiles at a country which is in the middle of a civil war and think you're having no impact on the civil war more broadly. So you'd better have a strategy for that. To do it without having a strategy for that is madness. It's also cruel because it will raise expectations that you are going to intervene more widely amongst people who think they would welcome that intervention. And you could add that, what is the record of making limited strikes to deter actions which the Americans or the world have thought to be, just beyond the pale? What about bombing Libya in 1986? What's the relationship between that and the Lockerbie bomb 2 years later, which is no doubt was planted by Libyan agents? That's now known to be a fact. What's the relationship between the limited missile strikes on Al-Qaeda targets carried out under Clinton's administration in the 1990s and the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon? I mean, I'm not saying that the strikes caused the later attacks, but the strikes didn't deter the later attacks. So what's the case that this is going to be so effective in any case? I actually think that there was simply a lot of moral posing going on, and an action would be undertaken which had very low prospects of doing any good and very high prospects of doing a lot of harm through regional escalation.